Oh, yes, lamb chop. I do love to watch the stars and I love to study astrology. And in fact, back in the 1960s, astrology became all the thing. And there was a song that came out back in 1968, which was kind of cool. And it was from the musical Hair. Yeah. How about we sing some of that right now? Okay. Hey, TVs. Lamb Chop and I are sitting here. We've been studying the big astrology wheel and talking about all the mystical things going on in the heavens. But I thought we'd sing a little song to kind of warm up today. So why don't you kind of pull up your chair here and hang out with us? We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome to our show tonight. When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planet and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more false derisions, no lies and no divisions, mystic crystal revelations, and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius, Aquarius. Well, I didn't sing that so perfectly, but I had fun trying. Well, I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome to our show tonight. How you doing, Lamb Chop? Oh, yeah, I know you're very excited about this week's forecast, aren't you? Well, we got a lot of people that are excited too. Let's see who all's in the chat. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look. Robert Stevens is here. Hey, Robert, good to see you. There's my buddy Bree is here. Hey, Bree, yay. We got our moderator, Queen Colobus. Shout out to Queen Colobus. Thank you for being here. There's Laura M is here. Oh my gosh. Hey, Laura. There's Kim Osborne. Yay. Kim says, we played that song in band in high school. Oh, I love that. I wish I'd been part of that. That sounds so much fun. There's Jose A. There's, oh my gosh, there's Felinda. I am. Hey, Felinda. There's, oh my gosh, Jude Real. Cassandra McGowan is here. What's up? Hey, Jude Real, we're just hanging out. Lamb Chop and I've been studying the star charts back here and just tune into the cosmos. Oh my gosh, I am so glad you guys are here. Well, welcome. Welcome to our show tonight. There's Honey Drizzle. Yeah, look. Well, why don't you go over here and sit down so I can talk to everybody, okay? Yes, yeah, we're going to talk about the stars in just a minute. I got to do some announcements. Okay. Go over there. There you go. Yay. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so good to have you here. Welcome to our show tonight. It's always special. Kim Osborne says, I played trumpet and I had a Bach Stradivarius. Ooh, that's very posh. Ooh, very nice. Hey, there's Raymond Hampton guy here today. Welcome, Raymond. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. It's good to have all of you here. Oops, hold on. I've got a lot of interruptions here. Let's just turn that on. All right. Well, welcome to Monday night. Monday night is where we hang out and we talk about the astrology. For the new people here at the channel, by the way, I want to welcome the new people. All of you who subscribed this last week, welcome to our channel. I hope you'll find that you have a good time here. We have a show 7 days a week. Most every day we do live broadcasts at 7 p.m., except on Tuesday, where we do a live stream at 12 o'clock noon. You want to be here tomorrow because tomorrow we're going to do live psychic readings at 12 o'clock noon Eastern time. So that's 12 Eastern, 11 Central, 10 Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. For those of you in Europe, it's 5 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. Paris time. So I'll be here tomorrow. Tonight, I'm not doing live psychic readings, but I'll be doing some astrology questions a little later. But for those of you who are new, we have something 7 days a week. So Monday, we do horoscopes. Tuesday, we do live psychic readings. Wednesday, we do Wiccan Wednesday, talk about something magical and Wiccan. On Thursday, we do Vlog Thursday. We go out on the town somewhere. And on Friday, we do live psychic readings. Again, it's 7 p.m. And on Saturday, we do live tarot readings. Where we do speed read the tarot. A lot of you love that. That's our Saturday night show. And on Sunday, we do live psychic readings again. So you get 3 chances every week to connect with somebody, PsychicBob, and get a live reading from me. So we do it on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So make sure to set your dial to Spirit Channel. If you're watching on TV, smart programming into your favorite channels. And if you're watching, you watch all the time. I get letters like this. People say, oh, I love your show. I've been watching. And I said, well, did you subscribe? And they said, no, you guys need to hit that subscribe button. Okay. By the way, I wanted to also tell you, thank you so much for all your support. You know, this past weekend, we had the psychic development class on Saturday and we had the inner circle class on Sunday. And it was a lot of fun. So if you want to connect with PsychicBob outside of YouTube, I do private classes. Every Saturday, I teach a live psychic development class, and you can join that by going to my website, and you can purchase it. It's $30 for the class. Each Saturday, we teach a 2-hour class, and in that class, we do psychic development. I'm going to help you learn about where your psychic gifts are, where your challenges are. We do exercises to work on that. We learn how to do readings, paranormal investigations, general psychic development. So if you are interested in that, love to have you come to our Saturday class. Go over to my website and purchase it there. Okay. For those of you who bought last Saturday's class, I'm giving you a credit because it was actually Christmas. So we actually didn't have it, but we were going to have. But just make sure to let me know, and I'll make sure you're in for this Saturday. It's $30. It's 2 hours live. It's not a class where you just sit back and take notes. This is an interactive class. So I'm going to talk to you. You can talk to me live, and we can work out your psychic development. And a lot of you have had a lot of breakthroughs. And, a lot of you said, oh, my God, Bob, I'm a little scared because it's like I'm like alive with you. It's like, but after you're with me 5 minutes, you say, gosh, this is like on YouTube. It's Bob Live. I love talking to it. I love talking to all y'all. So we have a lot of fun in that class. You do not have to have previous experience. We have many people that come in their very first day, they start doing readings. It's a lot of fun. So I invite you to come join us. On Sunday, we had what was our Sunday class? Oh, PsychicBob's Inner Circle. That's right. And we're going to have another Inner Circle. That is a class that meets every 2 weeks. And in that class, that is a smaller class. I limit the Inner Circle to only 10 people. So if you want to get in, send me an email. Our next one is going to be on January the 9th. Sunday, January the 9th. We're going to talk about ancient Atlantis. I'm going to talk about Atlantean crystals, the ancient prophecies of Atlantis, and what is coming to the earth. In the Inner Circle, I talk about stuff I cannot talk about here on YouTube. That's why it's on Zoom. Our second class is also on Zoom. The Inner Circle class, though, is limited to 10 people. People are really serious about their spiritual lives and want to spend quality time with PsychicBob. In that class, I do about an hour of teaching. So this next one on the 9th, we're going to teach on Atlantis and Atlantean crystals. And then I do an hour of where you can ask private psychic questions. Because there are only 10 people in the class, you get more time with me for private questions than you do here on YouTube. So you've been wanting to learn about PsychicBob's work or get closer to him, come to our PsychicBob's Inner Circle. That is not on my website due to some tech issues. So if you want to be in the Inner Circle, send me an email at PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. Cola Bobs will put that in the chat. Or you can just go to my website. There's a form there and type in your information and shoot it my way. At the bottom of each page of my website is PsychicBob.com. There's a contact form. So put in that you want to be in the Inner Circle for January 9th for Atlantis and Atlantean crystals. I'd love to have you guys there. Please come and see us, okay? Yay. Well, I'm so glad you're here. And tonight, we're going to look at the stars and see what's going on. And I really appreciate your support for the channel. And if anybody wants to donate, you're welcome to do that. Always helps me. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's donated this past week. So what is going on in the stars? Golly gee, I tell you, it's going to be a really kind of actually a cool week. So let's see what's going on. Well, this forecast, by the way, I should say, is from Monday, December the 27th, 2021 through Sunday, January the 2nd, 2022. I got to get used to saying 2022. It's kind of hard to say, 2022. I'm still back in 1985. So any of y'all say, Bob seems like he's in a different time zone in his life. I am. I'm stuck perpetually in the 1980s. So when I look at 2022, I said, Lord God, I'm getting old. But you know what? I'm still here, still doing readings. I've been on YouTube almost 15 years now, and I love it. And I'm still with you guys. And I want to say thank you to all of you. Oh, I noticed a lot of you give me thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. When you give thumbs up, that helps my channel move up in the ratings. So your thumbs up make a big difference. And I really appreciate that. So thank you. I hope all of you can give me thumbs up tonight. So we're doing this forecast from the 27th of December to the 2nd of January. Now, let me tell you before I get in this, because somebody wrote me recently. They said, Bob, you're not an astrologer. How'd you come up with all that? Where'd you steal it from? No, I've been studying astrology since I was 10 years old. It's a hobby of mine, and I just love it. And so the astrology forecasts that I do are unique to me, and they're not taken from any other astrologer or astrology website. I study the transits and the charts of stars, planets, and I put them together myself. Okay. By the way, speaking of astrology, if you're interested in getting an astrology chart from me, I don't have that on my website. I am doing astrology charts. They're $45. Send me an email. I'm going to put together a natal chart. I'm not doing relationship charts and timing charts and event charts, charts. Yeah, just a natal chart. It'll give you a snapshot of kind of your overview of your life, where your talents are, where your challenges are, and how to move forward. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. I do have a little bit of a backlog. I know some of you have written to me. I'm just thinking about it's been overwhelmed. I'm still getting to those. So don't worry, I will get to you, okay? Thank you so very much. There's Ashley Emmert's there. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. Welcome tonight. Ashley Emmert, very talented artist. Some of you may remember many years ago, about 12 years ago now, probably 12 years, she did a beautiful painting of me. And I'll have to show that to you. I have that in my bedroom, Ashley, and I love it. So thank you. I think of you all the time, and I'm glad you're here. There's Laura M. Hey, Laura, I'm older than you, Bob. Woo! We 80s kids, we remember it all, don't we? Oh, my gosh. All right, so what is going on in the stars? I get talking. I'm always on a tangent, so bear with Psychic Bob. I know, Ashley, can you believe it's been at least 10 years or more? Maybe 12. I have to look at the date on the painting. But I still love it, and I still get so many people ask about that. Laura M's a 7. Yeah, I was actually a kid in the 70s, and I was a teenager in the 80s, and a young adult in the 80s. Now I'm just a middle-aged old guy with gray hair staring at star charts all day. But I have a great life. Oh, my gosh. It's funny how age have. When you're young, when you're 20, you never think you're going to get older. But I'm getting a little older. But you know what? I don't care. I feel better. The more older I get, I feel wiser. And I think in the psychic profession, age is an asset, not a detriment. Robert Stevens says, I was in second grade, 1985. Oh, my gosh. Isn't that weird how the years go by? Thank you, Queen Cola Bobs. Our moderator, Queen Cola Bobs, says, my Bob's not old. I'm not old. But some days I think I am. Anyways, I always say between facelifts and hair dye, I'll never age. All right, well, we got to talk about the stars. I'm on 20 tangents. I swear to God. All right, so what do we got going? Well, today on Monday, 12/27, December 27th, we got our sun in the sign of Capricorn. By the way, Happy birthday to our Capricorn babies. We're going to be in the sign of Capricorn. We started that, what was it, on the 22nd. I can never remember the exact date. 12/22 or 12/21. I think it's 12. Depends on which year you go by. 12/21, 12/22. And we're going to be in the sun sign of Capricorn until January 20th. So happy birthday to our Capricorns. Now, what do we got going on today? We've got our moon in Libra. I love that. That's air energy. That opens up communications. We've got our sun trine Uranus. We're going to talk about that. That's a major transit all week. We've got our Mercury conjunct Venus and Mercury conjunct Pluto. These are all really powerful aspects, very positive aspects. And today is our best day for love and relationships. If you're trying to work on connecting to somebody romantically, today is a great day. That Mercury conjunct Venus opens up kind of love communications, and Mercury conjunct Pluto helps you to have a sense of moving forward with somebody and a sense of connection on a longer term basis. With that moon in Libra, that opens up friendship, open air communications, air sign. Very good day. And that moon in Capricorn gets everything going. It's like fast moving. We're connecting, communicating. It's a wonderful day for love and relationships and really moving forward. All right. Now, I do want to just spend a minute here and talk about, well, I'll save that for later. We'll come back to Sun trine Uranus in a little bit. Okay. All right. So let's stay focused. All right. Tuesday, tomorrow to 12/28. I got to tell you, a lot of you always say, oh my God, Bob, I'm scared if we have a negative transit day. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Tomorrow's a little bit of a challenging day. Don't let that stop you. All right. Let me tell you what we got going on. We've got our moon still in Libra. That's our saving grace of the day. That will keep people being at least friendly, I hope, even if they don't understand what's going on. We've got our sun again, trine Uranus, which I'll explain that later. We've got our moon square Mercury and our moon square Venus. Moon square Mercury means it's going to be challenging to feel like you can express your inner truths. You may feel a little tongue-tied or stuck in expressing your truth and understanding how you feel inside. With the moon square Venus, you may not feel so loving towards yourself or even feel loving towards others. It may be a day where you feel emotionally conflicted, okay? But that moon in Libra will help calm some of your anxiety and nerves. Really, I call Tuesday, tomorrow, this is the best day. If you can retreat from the world, it'll probably be a little easier. Now, I'm not one that normally says retreat from the world, but if you can take a sick day or a personal day, or just be careful how you interact with people, it's going to be a little better. People tomorrow with that moon square Mercury, sometimes what happens when moon square Mercury, people can't figure out how they feel, so they blurt out everything. They don't have discernment sometimes. And you might see people acting irrationally tomorrow or just being like erratic in their speech. They may say they don't look good, they don't feel good, they're grumpy. So tomorrow, be gentle with everybody. You just be kind, be patient. If somebody comes in, like you might see at your office, somebody crying, saying, my hair's a mess and my makeup doesn't work and I just am having a bad day. Be kind to them. Put your hand on them and say, listen, you're going to be okay. I'm here. When we see these days coming, like tomorrow, that's a challenging day. Again, don't run away in terror. Look at it and say, how can I maneuver through this day? This is the power of astrology, because it will help you to understand what's coming so that you can do your best with it. Now, as I said, it would be kind of good to have a quiet day tomorrow. And luckily, I have a bit of a quiet day tomorrow, so I think I'll be okay. But for some of you, it may be a challenging day, okay? So be patient with others. Try to keep a filter on your own mouth. Kim Osborne said people aren't going to have a filter on their mouth. Yeah, they probably won't. Because let's see, a lot of people would have, so that moon square Mercury, people feel conflicted inside. A lot of people don't know how to calm themselves and go with it, so they just externalize everything. So don't do the externalization tomorrow. It'll get you in trouble. All right, don't panic. That's our most challenging day. So that's the bad news. But you'll get through it knowing that, okay? All right. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate that. God bless you. Keep them coming. All right. What's going on Wednesday? Well, Wednesday on December 29th, we're going to have a shift. Our moon is moving over into Scorpio that day. Scorpio brings up a sense of psychic power, a feeling of deep emotion, connection with your inner world. And that's going to be nice after the previous day's moon square Mercury. We've got our sun trine Uranus again. That ass transit's going to be with us all week, and I will talk about that. And we've got our moon trine Jupiter. Wednesday, the 29th, is a day where you want to break out of your routines. Dare to take chances. Dare to go a different way to work. Dare to try different approaches. This is a good day for business success because that moon trine Jupiter means you're going to have your sense of timing about money and blessings and prosperity. So if you can break out of your patterns and be open to unorthodox ideas and unorthodox ways, that's a breakthrough, and particularly in the area of finances and job. So if you have a job interview on Wednesday, and you start talking, they ask you a question, and you get inspired to say something you wouldn't normally say, go ahead and go with it. Taking some of those risks will really help you out on Wednesday. So it's a breakthrough day, but you got to break the old patterns to have the breakthroughs. Okay. You guys with me so far? Okay. Wonderful. All right. By the way, I forgot to show you. I'm wearing my big astrology. Well, Danny Massey, if you're watching this, my friend Danny gave this to me last year for my birthday. Isn't it beautiful? It's from the 1970s. It's a mint condition, original pendant made in pewter. All the zodiac signs and their glyphs. Can you guys see that? Isn't that wonderful? And it came with the original chain. In the 1970s, big chains were all the thing, big jewelry. So this is an original 1970s pendant. How you guys like that? Isn't that great? As an astrologer, I love to wear astrology jewelry. I really love it. Yay. Thank you, Oceanfront. Oceanfront says, it's cool. And Laura says, that's beautiful. I love it. Well, Laura, and you remember the 70s too. So you remember the big jewelry of the day. That's what a lot of people wore, these big jewelries. I love it. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so glad you enjoy it. All right. So that's what's going on Wednesday. Break your patterns. Try something new, and it'll lead to success for you. Okay. Now, what we got going on Thursday? Well, on Thursday, we still have that moon in Scorpio that's stirring up that deep soul, knowing, heart, psychic energy. We've got, again, our sun trine Uranus, and our moon is trine Neptune. Oh, now you can't get a better aspect than these. That moon in Scorpio opens up the psychic channel, and that moon trine Neptune, that seals it. Thursday is our psychic power day. I'm going to sit down on Thursday and review again my prophecies that are coming. Because, on the next day on Friday, December 31st, I'm going to do my annual predictions. But I'm going to just go back and do a double check on Thursday to make sure that I'm tuned in right on all of that. So Thursday, psychic power day. If you've been wanting to, work on your psychic self, why don't you get into our class? Because this week that psychic energy is in motion. You might be surprised. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, to that inner voice, that knowledge. Thursday especially, trust yourself, go with your gut, as they say, and listen to the spirits too. Psychic power day. Oops, I just dropped my phone. So psychic power day on Thursday. Now, going into the New Year's Eve on Friday. Ooh, that's a big day for a lot of people. Thank you, Queen Cola Bobs. She says, oh, the prophecies are fab, but I'm zipped. I've told her a few things that are coming. She's all excited. I'm excited too. All right, so New Year's Eve, I always say, well, I got big plans, going to big parties. Well, you know what? Make sure, and this is my advice for Friday, make sure when you go out, bring your business cards. If you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to be seen and make connections, you want to use New Year's events for that. Why? Why do I say that? Well, Our moon is moving over into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is great for business. That's the go get 'em, the hunter, to go out and get your gold and bring it home. Moon in Sagittarius makes you feel in harmony with success. Again, we got that sun trine Uranus, which we will talk about at the end here. And we've got our moon square Jupiter. Now, normally squares are a challenging aspect, but Jupiter cancels out any negativity. So the moon square Jupiter means slow down, listen within, trust your sense of timing. That moon in Sagittarius puts you in an energy where it's like you just get a sense, I'm going to go give that person my business card. Hey, I'm going to call that person up and invite them to go to the party with me so we can talk business. Friday is business power day. Now, I know it's a holiday. Most people say, well, nobody's going to be working on that day. They may not be working officially at their office, but listen, they're going to be open to deals and negotiations. So Friday, carry your cards with you. Even if you think you're just going to people you already know, if you're going to their house, well, I know everybody. Nobody knew there. There will be somebody new at the party and somebody that's going to help you move forward in your life. So think in terms of where you need financial blessings, where you need breakthroughs, where you got to get accomplished. Okay, Friday, New Year's Eve, that's all the power, It's all the power, okay? Queen Colabob says, whoa, Bobs, what do you got planned for New Year's Eve? Well, I'm so glad you asked me, Queen Colabob, because Psychic Bob is going to be here live 7 p.m. with my world predictions. And I'm going to hang out with you guys. We're also going to do live psychic readings that night. So if you're here, you'll get live psychic readings. So you don't want to miss it. Friday night's the place to be at Spiritual. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. All right, so we get through New Year's Eve. We're going to have our first day of 2022 on Saturday, 0101. Woo, I love numbers like that. All right, so what do we got going on? Well, our moon is in Sagittarius. We've got our sun trine Uranus. We've got our moon square Neptune and Mercury conjunct Pluto. This is pretty good. That moon in Sagittarius again brings forth that go-get-em mentality. So don't get drunk and be all hungover because you're going to miss a lot of power on Saturday, okay? That moon square Neptune means that you may feel a little out of sorts with your psychic self. You may feel like you can't trust your intuition. And moon square Neptune means that going within could prove a little challenging. However, Mercury conjunct Pluto does help you to look to the future. So that's a good thing. You will be able to talk about future events. People will want to talk in long-term success. Anything you're doing, particularly in business on New Year's, the secret to getting through that moon square Neptune transit is trust your past knowledge. Because you may not feel psychically attuned on that Saturday, you might feel a little, I'm not sure if I'm getting it right. Look to the past. Whatever the past knowledge was around you, that power is still available. And so trust the past as you look to the future. That is the key to Saturday and to getting through that, okay? Trust the past to look to the future, all right? Don't forget that. Because if you start going speculative, that moon square Neptune could get you out of sorts. Don't risk it. Look at things. When you're looking at stuff, say, how would that have been handled last year or the year before or 5 years ago? Go with what you know on Saturday, all right? There's a simple way to say, go with what you know. Go with what you know. Everybody practice that. Go with what you know, all right? You got it? All right. So that is our Saturday. Go with what you know. All right. And then we get to Sunday, January 2nd. Now we're going to have another shift there. Our moon is moving into the sign of Capricorn. And that's going to pick up a lot of energy. Now, this is a power day for you Capricorns because we've got our sun in Capricorn on Sunday and our moon in Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn, Sunday is your power day. This is where you're at the height of your power. You have clarity of mind. You can move through blocks in your life. You can get things accomplished with a lot less stress. Capricorns is your power day on Sunday. Okay. We also have our Sun trine Uranus and Mercury conjunct Pluto that day. Okay, what does that mean? This is the day to again move forward wherever you feel stuck in your life. This is actually for everybody, but especially Capricorns. This is what we call a breakthrough day. Maybe you've had a family member that you've been fighting with for 5 years and you haven't spoken in the last 5 years. This day means reach out to them. You could have a breakthrough and opening doors of communication. Maybe you've been trying to get somebody to buy your house for the last year and nobody's buying. Revisit relisting it that day. This is the day to move forward, to change and break out of patterns and start new. So Sunday is a time, if you don't remember all of the transits, say PsychicBob says Sunday's the day to try starting a new path. All right. If in the past you've been working on weight loss and you say, you know what? I never succeed in my weight loss goals. Start again. Sunday is about hope. It's about getting a second chance. Maybe you're somebody who struggled with alcohol and drugs over this last year. You think, I don't even know if sobriety's for me. Why don't you make it a goal that on Sunday you're going to put down the alcohol, put down the drugs, and commit to a life of health and moving forward in a positive way. That's what Sunday's about. So, we're ending this next week on Sunday on a really great high and positive note. And I'm so happy to be able to share that with you. So, real quick recap. Monday is our love day. Tuesday's our rest day. Wednesday is break old habits day. Thursday is psychic power day. Friday is business success day. Saturday is go with what you know day. And Sunday is start fresh day. So we've got some goal every day to work on. And if you can focus on those areas, you've got the help of the cosmos. The stars are spinning and they're going to help you to accomplish those goals. How do you guys feel about that? Does that sound good? Laura M says, I need weight loss. Well, Laura M, you got a great week to work on it. On Wednesday, Laura, you could think about that from the place of, I'm going to try a different routine than I've been doing, And then on Sunday, you can recommit to really making it work. I'm telling you, this is actually a good day. Even though we've talked about Tuesday, tomorrow's a little bit challenging, don't let that stop you. Know what's going on and you keep your lips sealed. Okay? You'll get through. Now, I do want to talk about this transit, this Sun trine Uranus, because we have that all week long with us. And this is a pretty major transit. Whenever we have the sun or the moon aspecting, it's a major effect on us because they're called the illuminators of the zodiac, okay? So all week long, that Sun trine Uranus is about new beginnings. It means during that, you're going to feel like you want to travel. You want to go places you've never been. You're going to feel a little emboldened to suddenly change things up. Sun trine Neptune means that if you do changes to your routine, you will have joy and success in the process. The sun is the illuminator, and the planet Uranus is the planet of breakthroughs in its positive aspect. The negative aspect of Uranus is chaos and revolution and violence. But the positive side of Uranus is success, sudden changes, breakthroughs, winning. And that Sun trine Uranus is a very positive. A trine aspect is a power alignment and it shows success. So this week, I want all of you to think about, what could I do that's different? Like maybe it's like driving a different way to work. Could just change your whole outlook of the day. Maybe you drive a different road and you discover, hey, there's a store over there I never knew about. And you just saved $1,000 on something you need to buy because you went a different way. All right. Sun trine Uranus means that maybe you've been thinking about traveling. You said, oh, I don't know. I've never traveled far away to Machu Picchu in South America. But that says, dare to take those risks and travel to those places you've never been. And you will have life-changing experience that will bless and support you and empower you. Sun trine Uranus is the positive side of Uranus. And as an Aquarius, Aquarians are ruled by the planet Uranus. So especially for you Aquariuses, like myself, I'm an Aquarius, this week, that Sun trine Uranus says, dare to do something different, dare to break your routines, dare to kind of put yourself in a way that it may even be a little uncomfortable for you. But if you try it and you break away from that which you know, you're going to have some major success. So it's for all of us, but especially Aquarius, because that planet heavily influences Aquariuses too. So it's the ruling planet of the sign. So that is what is going on in the stars today. And I hope that's giving you a little bit of insight, If anybody wants to ask any questions, I appreciate it and I'd be happy to answer. I'm not doing private psychic readings. I'm just doing astrology questions. So if you want to ask anything about astrology, maybe you're a cusp and want to understand that, or maybe you want to know what a certain planet does or means, or anything really, we can do that, So, hi, Oceanfront just sent me a big star. Thank you, Oceanfront. I love that. I'm a big believer in the stars. I really am, And I think that, well, let me put it this way. Somebody asked me a few weeks ago, am I broadcasting? Hope I'm broadcasting. A few weeks ago, somebody asked me, they said, hold on, I got some tech issues. Somebody asked me, well, Bob, I'm a Christian. And they said, is it safe for me to follow astrology, or is it a bad thing? And I always said, if we consider that the divine created all that exists, which I believe, even as a Wiccan, I believe God or goddess, the gods created the universe, same as Christianity, that I believe the divine is always communicating with us. And the divine gives us messages through the world around us. So I think studying astrology and studying the stars is understanding the natural order and the communication of the divine. So I think it's a good thing. So for those of you who might struggle with that and say, well, my church said I shouldn't listen to you, Bob, because you talk about astrology. I want you to consider, and you might say, challenge your priest or pastor with the concept that, did not God create everything? Ask them who created the universe, right? And they'll say, well, God did. And so, does God speak to humankind? And they'll say, yes. And say, couldn't God speak to us through his creation? And the answer is absolutely yes. Just my 2 cents for those of you who are wondering. There's Jose A. Jose A says, what do you think of sidereal or Vedic astrology? Well, I follow the tropical aspects of astrology. The difference is the sidereal adjusts the times. And actually, sidereal is actually probably technically a more specifically accurate thing, but the old astrology still works. So I study the tropical. Vedic astrology, I have to be honest, I have not done a lot of work with Vedic astrology. But that being said, I've met some amazing Indian astrologers from India, and they seem to have it down to a science that is very precise and accurate. So somebody said, well, are the Vedic astrologers better than the Western astrologers? I don't think so. I think they're both unique in their own way. One of the things I like about Vedic astrology is that they understand that they have a belief that wearing gemstones help you align with the positive side of the planets, and that if you have a negative challenge in your chart, like let's say Mars is badly placed in your chart to create chaos, well, you could wear the Mars stone, which in their case is coral, red coral. You could wear a red coral piece of jewelry, and that helps negate some of the negative aspects of this that transit or that sign. And I just think it's kind of cool. So each astrology, whether Western or Eastern, I think have value, and I don't think one's better than the other. They're just different. I think we all get the same information. We just go about it different ways. That's what I think, So I hope that makes some sense. That's a good question, though. Thank you. Hope that answers that for you. Oh, hold on a second. My chat's freezing up. All right, there's Laura M. She has a question. She says, I have a question. Is it bad to be a Gemini? Because people always say, oh, you're a Gemini. Laura, that's not, no. Listen, when we talk about the sun signs do heavily influence us. But every sun sign has its positive and negative traits. And those positive and negative traits depend on the individual. So you can't say all Geminis are bad. Where that saying comes from, the reason why people say that is in pop astrology. And I always say, be careful, especially if you're in the supermarket and you see sometimes they print these little 30-page astrology books. They'll say, learn everything about astrology. It's only $2. That's pop astrology. It's not always accurate, those little books, because they just hit the major highlights of a sign and they don't go in depth. To really know if somebody is good or bad in their nature, you have to go into a whole chart. This is why I do natal charts, because you get a much fuller picture. Now, the reason they say that about Gemini is the Gemini are the twins, and they're started in pop astrology. That's what I call it, pop astrology. A belief that, there's the good twin and the bad twin. Now, that being said, I must say that in Geminis, I have found, again, not in every Gemini, but it does appear that Geminis sometimes are challenged by a dual nature. The dual nature for a Gemini can be that you can be literally a saint and save 1 million lives, and then the next week turn around as a Gemini, and be a total jerk to everybody around you. I don't say that you're like that. I'm saying some Geminis, and again, let me put that in quotes, some are challenged by a dual nature of saint one day and sinner the next day. That doesn't mean that all Geminis are like that, but that's where people go, oh, Gemini, because pop astrology has told people, oh, that Gemini, they're going to be good today, but tomorrow they'll backstab you. And that's not really true, because honestly, every person is different. Every chart is different. Is that dual nature aspect in a Gemini trait? It is a trait, but it doesn't mean you have it. It's like saying, genetics-wise, everybody could get cancer, but not everybody will, So don't let anybody scare you with that, But if you do have friends tell you, Laura, you switch day to day, that could be a sign that your negative aspect, your Gemini, is coming out. And if that's true, you can work on that, balance that energy, be aware. Astrology is wonderful because it makes you self-aware. It allows you to look at your true self and all the positive and the negative. And I always say, when you're going to do astrology, you got to be open to hearing the bad. Like one of the traits of Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius, is that one of our negative traits is that sometimes we get grumpy. We can just be in a mood. And Queen Colobos can tell you, I get that way. So I have to be aware of that. It's like, okay, I'm being a grumpy Aquarius, so I got to work on that, I hope I'm never coming here grumpy, but sometimes I get grumpy, Another aspect of Aquarius, for example, one of the things they say is that Aquarians can talk to the whole world. We're great communicators, but one-on-one, we're impossible to communicate with. Is that true? In my own case, I think sometimes it's true. But I've met other Aquarians who aren't like that. So every sign's unique. I hope that answers that for you. Masters Omniverse has a question. He says, how can someone read past lives with astrology? That's a good question, Masters. With we have a thing, it's the south node of the chart, and it's kind of complex, but it's where the southern, like where the alignments would be the southern point of the chart on the birth chart. The southern node indicates past life karma that you're bringing into this life. And so studying the planets and the alignments around the south node show you what you've come in with from the past. So you can understand your karma that you bring into this life. So that's one of the things we do in past life astrology, if somebody, for example, uh, underwent, let's say, a hypnotic regression and knew they were a certain person, it could be verified and we could research it. We can also pull a chart for that person's past life. Like if they were born in 1780 in Philadelphia at 3 p.m., they knew that through past life regression. We can do a past life chart to look at their past lives. So there are ways to do it. Yes, you can look at past lives with astrology. I hope that answers that. Good questions. Oh my gosh, Glitter Rainbow has a question. She says, do the stars support making plans, setting intentions this week for next year? Is there a particular ritual which helps attuning to these energies? Well, that's a good question, Glitter Rainbow, because I think that, really all the days this week really support that. Particularly, though, in terms of, making plans, Sunday, the second, is the strongest for moving forward, for really setting your intentions, because there's a sense of renewal and hope that is very strong on Sunday, the second. Now, I know people say, well, make your intentions before the new year. All right, that's close enough to New Year's that I think it will still count. So I would say focus on Sunday for that sort of thing. In terms of rituals, um, gosh, that would be a whole hour. But I would just say, if nothing else, write out a contract with your higher self. Get a paper, write out what your goals are, put those under a candle, and then read those for the next week. And you speak to your higher self, say, I need my higher self to help me achieve these goals. And you burn the candle as the light to empower them to release energy. Just burn a white candle, because the white candles reflect new beginnings and fresh starts. Okay, so use a white candle for New Year's. And I would just write out your dreams, your visions, your goals. You can start that before Sunday, because all week long we got a lot of psychic power, but that's one way to do it. I hope that helps. Good questions. Oh my gosh, you're wonderful. All right. Moderator Queen Colobobs asks, what are the negative traits of a Capricorn? Say it how it is, Bob. Well, again, not every Capricorn, but Capricorn as a sign does sometimes have the traits of impatience. So Capricorns want to rush through everything. They can be impatient. They also have a trait of being stubborn. They're a goat, and sometimes goats get stubborn. The other negative aspect is that sometimes Capricorns, they want to be in charge, and they don't let other people's voices be heard. They get kind of tunnel vision. That's a challenge of Capricorn sometimes, because they're in such a rush they can't see bigger picture. So sometimes with the Capricorn, if they're really difficult, you have to kind of paint the bigger picture and help them take off the blinders. They can get a little blind. So those are some of the negative. That doesn't mean all Capricorns have that. It doesn't mean that you're like that or anybody is here is Capricorn. But if you're a Capricorn, those are some traits you want to be aware of so that you can maybe work on that if that's a challenge, So, all right, hold on just a second. Kim Osborne says, what is positive and what is negative traits for Pisces? Good question, Kim. Well, the positive side of Pisces they're one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. They're ruled by the planet Neptune, which gives them a lot of psychic insight. So Pisces are also great lovers. If you fall in love with the Pisces, they're going to love you like nobody. They're passionate, sensual. Usually Pisces are very pretty people. They have beautiful eyes. That's one of the traits of a Pisces, their eyes, and usually they have the most beautiful skin. The challenging side to Pisces is that sometimes Pisces fall in love with the idea of love rather than a person. That's a challenge. They love people, but they love the idea of love so much that they may, and I'm not saying you, kid, but some of them tend to be cheaters or promiscuous. They get so into the idea of their pleasure and their love that they think, well, I'm going to go with this guy today and that guy tomorrow and him next week. And they can be heartbreakers. So that's the challenging side of Pisces. Okay, so there's some positive, there's some negatives. I hope that helps. Jose A says, I'm not really an astrology, this is not really an astrology question, but I'm curious as to which crystal is your favorite. My favorite is Lemurian, clear Lemurian, like frosted clear quartz Lemurian. I love those. In fact, we did an inner circle class, Jose, on that. Next, the January 9th, we're going to do an inner circle class on crystals of Atlantis. So if you're interested in crystals, you might want to join my class, Psychic Bob's Inner Circle on January 9th. If you're interested in that, just send me an email. So I love it. I love Lemurian crystals. Yay. All right. Oh my gosh. Alicia Faye, I'm not sure I understand your question. Alicia says, what about having an awesome view of both sides in every situation? I'm very thoughtful. I don't know what you're asking or you're saying. Maybe it's another conversation. All right, I'll have to come back to you on that. I'm not sure I understand that. Okay. Jose A asks another good question. He says, do you have any insights on the 12th house? I have many planets placed there. The 12th house is our house of the zodiac that deals with our final endings. It also deals with secrets being revealed. So, for example, if you had like Neptune and Pluto in the 12th house, that could indicate that you're a very secretive person and that throughout your life you hold on to secrets. So that's about our final ending. It can also foreshadow how you may leave the earth, what health complications may take you there. And it could also indicate any final revelations that may come out of your life. So there's a lot in the 12th house. I'd have to know what planets are there and all, but when we do astrology chart, I look at the houses and the planets aligned there. That's a really good question, though. All right. Bree says, I wondered why I felt like a Gemini. And then I found out that I'm a Gemini in Vedic astrology. All right. So, well, there you go, Bree. You know, you may be on a cusp. And, you know, depending on where you are, you can be one or both of the signs. And I always say if you're a cusp sign, you know, read both horoscopes because in time you'll figure out who you are. But you know, that Vedic alignment may put you closer to your actual sign that you're aligned to. It's very individual. You know, my mother was technically a Sagittarius, or well, she claimed to be a Sagittarius, and by most astrology, she is a Sagittarius. She's a cusp Sagittarius. She's November 22nd. But the year that she's born, this is why in Western astrology you want to look at ephemeris sometimes, because actually the year she was born was 1934. On that year, the sun did not move into Sagittarius until the 23rd, not the 22nd. So she was actually born under the sign of Scorpio. And I always felt my mom was a Scorpio, but she thought she was a Sag, and that's all right. She claimed it, but I felt she's a Scorpio. Technically, she was a Scorpio, but I couldn't tell her that. But this is the thing with astrology. When you're on those cusps, or you get two different astrologers give you two different interpretations, take time to study it, you know? So there you go. I hope that answers that. You're welcome, Laura. I'm glad I could help. Thank you for being here tonight. So much fun, isn't it? I so enjoyed this astrology Mondays. You know, Monday's my day off, and but I still like to come here and do a video with you guys. You know. Thanks, Robert, for stopping by. Blessings to you. Hey, there's Kate Pigeon got in. Hi, Kate. Good to see you. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is great. Kate Pigeon says, have you reviewed the good versus the bad of Virgo yet? LOL. Well, you know, my brother's a Virgo, Kate, and I have to live with him all the time. The good side of Virgo is that Virgos are eagle-eyed. They don't miss a thing. If you need a proofreader, if you're doing a project, a report, or a book, have a Virgo read it. They have eagle eyes. I've never met one that couldn't pick out every little thing. They're so detail-oriented. It's amazing. And if you need somebody that looks at fine details, get a Virgo. I always say I want all of my accountants and proofreaders for my books to be Virgos. That's one of the positive sides. The challenging side of Virgo is that sometimes there's a saying, you know, you can't see the forest for the trees. Some Virgos, and again, not all, some are challenged from seeing bigger picture. They get so focused on the minutia that they can't see the overall movement of patterns of energy or historic movements. So sometimes a Virgo can miss a major thing coming because they're so micro focused. And I'd say Virgos, the challenge is to step back and try to see the forest instead of just the trees. You know, one of the other positive signs of Virgo is that a lot of them are very psychic. Now, it's interesting because they're earth sign, but I think that that earth energy gives them a grounded focus that helps them to put out distractions and really hone in on psychic messages. So I think they make good psychics, some of them, you know. So there you go. Thank you, Kate. I'm glad you're here. I hope that answers it. All right. Glittery Rainbow asks, I feel challenged a lot in this life, particularly in the area that my planet of my sun sign rules. How can I make sense of this? Well, you know, I'd have to know what sign you're, what planet you're talking about here. But I'll tell you just from a general astrology place that the ruling planet, though it may seem challenging, like let's say you get the planet Mars and you think, I don't like that planet Mars. All right. Turn that into a positive thing. Like, for example, if you feel your ruling planet is challenging to you, befriend the planet. What do I mean by that? Well, the Indian astrologers, those Vedic astrologers, let's say Mars is your planet, we'll use that. They say if you have your challenges with the planet, wear the gemstone of that planet, and it opens up a communion and an energy exchange that changes into a positive. So if Mars is your planet and you just don't like it and you feel like it doesn't work for your chart in your life, then start wearing, like by Vedic astrology, you would wear the gemstone red coral. And as you start wearing that energy, you're now befriending the energy of that plane. You've made a communion, a pact with it, and you can turn it into a source of power rather than a source of challenge. You know, so look at the planet and, you know, see what gemstone, look up Vedic gemstones for the planets. And then I would encourage you to start wearing that gemstone. I really think the Indian astrologers have it right on that, because I wear an astrology bracelet, and I find it, I don't have it on today of all the days I should be wearing it. Anyways, I'll show that to you again, but next time. But the 9 is called the Navaratna. Navaratna means the 9 gems of the zodiac. Okay. So that's one way to work with that, you know. Also, Glitter Rainbow, you might want to see, are you on the cusp? Because if you're feeling disharmonious with your sign in this planet, maybe you're on a cusp and you're actually the other sign near your sign. Like my mom was a Sagittarius, but really she was a Scorpio, you know. So there you go. I hope that helps a little bit. Hi, Shannon Turner. Welcome. Good to see you. Masters Omniverse says, why am I fond of Saturn? Is it because of a past life? Well, you know, that planet may be well placed in your chart, Masters. I'd have to see it. Planet Saturn is the planet that sometimes poses challenges in our zodiac. But Saturn can be favorably placed. That means that you have power to overcome the challenges. So I'm not really sure. I'd have to look at your chart. Okay. Alicia Faye says, I am ruled by Mercury. On Mercury RX, oops, hold on a second. I carry Mercury dimes. I have a small collection of them. They help me as a talisman. That's a wonderful thing to do, Alicia. Yes, wear your zodiac charm or charms that represent your sign. You know, every zodiac sign, as you see I'm wearing, has all the signs. And if you look here on my wheel, every sign has an aspect. So there's Aries, the ram. Okay, so you could wear a ram charm if you're Aries. There's Taurus, the bull. You could wear a bull charm to align with that energy. The Pisces are the two fish up here. The Aquarius is the water bearer, the vase of water. So claiming your symbol is a wonderful way to make that connection. Okay. I hope that helps. Jose A says, Bob, what's your favorite planet? Sorry if I'm asking too many. That's all right. I love questions. My favorite planet is my ruling planet of my sign, which is Uranus. If you've ever looked at pictures of Uranus, it's a mystical planet. It's a giant blue planet with a ring around it. It just seems so mystical to me. I just love that planet. I also am very fond of Neptune as well, because as a psychic, I feel that planet gives me a lot of power. And I actually have, I got to check it. I think Neptune in Scorpio in my chart, which points to psychic nature. I have my moon in Scorpio, and I think I have Neptune in Scorpio as well. So, you know, those psychic planets really help me a lot in my life. You know, it's so interesting with astrology, Jose, because, you know, when I do a chart for somebody and I tell them, oh, you've got these planets here and this is what it means, they say, oh, I always felt that in my life. Now it makes sense. You know, people say to me, well, I don't believe PsychicBob is a psychic, but an astrologer could look at my chart and say, you show a propensity for psychism, whether they know me or not. Astrology is very objective. It is what it is. And that's why I think it's so fascinating, you know. Hi, Diane G. Diane G says, Bob, will you speak about Leo, please? You know, Leos are wonderful since Leos are bigger than life. A lot of celebrities are Leos. Leos are great communicators. They're a fire sign. They tend to project themselves out into the universe in a big way. That's the positive side of Leo. The negative side of Leo, because you remember every sign has its positive and negative. Now, when I talk negative, it's not pointed at you, Diane, or anybody here. The negative side of Leo is that they get so ego-centered that they just blow off everybody and they treat people like a jerk, you know, because they're so into themselves that they don't hear any advice from others and then they go astray. So Leos sometimes are challenged by their own egos that get in the way. Now, Leos also, as I said, many celebrities are Leos because they're great communicators. If you ever, and I always tell people this, you know, if you're ever trying to do a fundraiser for an organization, you need somebody to like inspire people, hire a Leo to do the promotional speech to ask for the money. Leos will inspire people to want to donate to your cause. So they're great with money raisers. They're good leaders in business. They really know how to close deals. They're brilliant people. A lot of Leos, interestingly, have elements to them that is actually lion-like. Like I find a lot of Leo women will have big hair, like they have voluminous hair, usually blonde or lighter colors. Men also have big, thick hair. Some of the Leo traits, they literally take on the characteristics of a lion. They may have a big, booming voice, like a roaring lion. They're inspired. They're like, wow, they're powerful people. Like the lion, they're the king of the jungle. And Leos like to be the king of wherever they are. And I think that's kind of cool. They're natural leaders, natural communicators, you know. Bria has a good question. She says, is there a significant difference with planetary placements in certain signs versus planetary placements in the houses of those signs? How do I say that? It just depends on how you look at it. Honestly, sometimes they overlap. A planet placed in a sign gives you understanding of how that planet influences you, and it takes on characteristics of that. I like to say that the houses of the zodiac are the major trends that are happening throughout your life. They're kind of life trends, whereas the planets and the signs are points of power that may or may not carry through in different times in your life. I'm not really explaining that. That's kind of hard to explain without getting really complex. But think of it as that the planets in the houses tend to point towards longer term trends and patterns that will go throughout your life. Then when they're in the sign, they're just a point of power aspect that may or may not extend throughout all your life. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyways, I hope that helps a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain. Astrology, I can tell you, can get very complex. And this is the challenge I find as an astrologer. I can put together charts for people. Reason why people like my charts is they say I actually bring it down to earth. But I tell you, it's taken me a while in my life to learn how to speak astrology in the common lingo. Because when astrologers get together and start talking, it sounds like a highbrow scientific conversation that most people just can't follow. And I used to find when I did astrology consultations for people, they'd sit there going, well, I don't understand what Mercury in the 12th house means when you tell me that it's in alignment with my ascendant in the 6th house, and they get all confused by that. And I'm like, it is kind of confusing. So I try in my astrology church to break it down to just everyday lingo. Anyways, Bree, I hope that made a little sense to you. It's kind of complex, that question. But I hope I answered it somewhat. Honey Drizzle. Hi, Honey Drizzle. Honey Drizzle says, I am moon and Cancer dominant. I have moon and Cancer dominant in my chart. That points to a very sensitive nature, a very inner thinking person. Probably indicates also an introvert energy and also very psychic energy. So I think you're very introvert, probably very sensitive and very psychic. That's what I'd say just from hearing that little bit. Of course, I'd have to see all the other alignments to give a full accurate definition. But those alignments, those predominant things would indicate that. Yay. Queen Kolobob says, I've got a lot of Venus in my chart. Well, that means you're given to love and romantic idealism. So that means you'll be great in love. I would agree. All right. Bree says, I like Venus because it looks like a star. My dog's name is Venus too. Isn't that cool? The morning star, if you get up early before sunrise, sometimes you'll see a bright, bright star on the horizon. That's Venus. It's actually not a star, but they call it the morning star. It's a planet Venus. It does look like a star. It's just so bright and shiny. Venus has a lot of clouds on it and reflects light like brilliantly. Very luminous clouds. Well, guys, listen, I just realized what time it is. I'm going to have to wrap it up here. But I do hope that this has been some fun for you tonight. And, we'll do more of this in the coming days. PsychicBob says day off, so I'm a little tired. So I'm just going to rest. I'm going to do some Netflixing and chilling tonight, have some dinner and just watch Netflix. And Queen Kolobobs and I'll chit chat and watch Netflix together. So I want to say thank you for being here. Listen, if you've enjoyed this, I'll be back here next Monday with more astrology. But in the meantime, make sure to be here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon. I'm doing live psychic readings at 12 noon Eastern time. You're welcome, Laura. Laura says, thank you for all your information. Thank you. Oh, Alicia, thank you for the star. Blessings. You should give me blessings of the stars. Thank you, guys. You're great. Listen, guys, thanks for being here. I had so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed it too. And, not Monday. Well, it is 2020. Next Monday, we'll have it, Masters, and more astrology. Tomorrow is going to be live messages from the spirit world. Wednesday's Wiccan Wednesday. Don't forget Friday. What's Friday? PsychicBob's annual predictions live stream. It's going to be a major event here at World Prophecies for 2022. Friday night, you don't want to miss it. Where else would you want to be on a Friday? You want to be out with drunk people? Nah, you want to be doing spiritual things. So tune in to Spirit Channel on Friday, Hey, Robin, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Blessings. Thank you, Bree. Bree said this was fun tonight. I'm so glad. Robin, I'm glad I hope you were here for some of the earlier stuff. If not, go back and watch it because we have a lot of powerful stuff going on this week. You guys are great. Well, listen, guys, Psychic Bob loves you. Oh, Alicia didn't hear it. What? She says, gotta get. Yes, Friday, Alicia, be here at Spirit Channel, live stream 7 p.m. My prophecies for 2022. These are going to be global scale predictions, major events, what are coming to the economy, to the UFO phenomena, to the world events. All of that's going to be on Friday. You don't want to miss it. I do this every year on the December 31st on New Year's Eve. So it's a big tradition here at Spirit Channel. We have a large turnout. I am going to be doing live psychic readings that night as well as part of it. So if you want to know about your 2022, bring your psychic questions on Friday because we're going to do that as well. Thank you for asking, Alicia. I hope you'll be here on Friday. Bree says, oh, I can't wait for Friday. Yay. Yes, and Queen Colobos is going to do the drawing. We're going to have a drawing for everybody who donated this year to the channel. We're going to do a drawing and give away a prize. So make sure to be here, okay? So we're going to have a big event. We're going to hang out and party. We'll probably have some dancing, singing. We're going to do world prophecies. We're going to do private readings, and we're going to have a contest drawing. So it's going to be a party here at Spirit Channel. So come hang out with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. You guys are the best. Listen, Psychic Bob loves you. Be here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon tomorrow for messages from the spirit world. We'll see you then. Oh, hold on. Yes, I hear it. Yes, I'm so sorry. Lamb Chop wanted to come and send his blessings to you as well. So good night from Lamb Chop and me. What's that? Yes, I know. Wasn't it? He enjoyed hearing the astrology forecast. I'm so glad. Does that apply to animals as well? Oh, absolutely. Yes. So everybody's pets are also affected by this? Yes, they are. Lamb Chop said that all of your pets, this astrology is for them as well. All right, guys, listen, I love you. Lamb Chop and I send our blessings. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon for messages from the spirit world. Don't miss it.